My name is Ahmed Ali. I am the founder of Success Actualization Coaching. I help people and organizations get very clear on their goals and empower them with strategies and techniques to get to where they want to be. I've worked with numerous types of companies. I've worked with private individuals, I've worked with insurance companies, mortgage brokers, dental offices, as well as healthcare providers. My background actually is in high-tech, particularly in mobile communications, which is something that I'm still involved in. However, I always had a passion for helping people uncover the potential in every situation that they're going through and helping them view things in a different way. And particularly in the last 8 to 9 years, I've worked with new immigrants coming to Canada, professional immigrants who come with very high qualifications, with experience as well, but they hit the wall of integrating into this country and establishing their life. One recent initiative that I've been involved in over the last year is a program with the University of Ottawa called the Advancing New Canadian Women in Technology. And this is particularly aimed at the female component of the new immigrants who are qualified, and making sure that we empower them and to satisfy the Ontario initiative of 30 by 30, I believe, which is 30% of the workforce would be females by the year 2030. So I'm very happy to do that.
That's amazing, Ahmed. You've achieved a lot. You've accomplished a lot of success, both academically as a PhD holder and as a business owner. You've shared stages with big names like Jack Canfield, Robert Allen, and so many more. What has been the one major factor, maybe one event, maybe one person that has helped you the most in your journey?
The one thing that really influenced my success is the commitment. The commitment to the work that I've always done and wanted to do. As you well know, every success starts with a clear vision of the goal that we are aiming towards. That is followed by a decision to act and take action towards that goal. But it's only when we make a clear commitment that we validate that decision. See, different people have different definition of commitment. Some people would say, I'm gonna do this regardless, no matter what. And this is tied to how important that goal is to them. And it will determine what actions you take. Versus majority of the people, they'll say, I wish I can have this goal. I'm gonna try my best and see what happens, okay? So the expectation is different. And if I was to use Les Brown's words, he always said, you must maintain your commitment to your commitment. I.e., when you said, I'm committed to achieving a goal, what are you doing every day in terms of actions, in terms of thoughts, in terms of the type of people that you mix with, how you discipline yourself? That is making sure that you're continuing and progressing towards that goal versus leaving it to chances.
That makes perfect sense. Today, coaching is a hot topic. So many people are calling themselves professional coaches. You have had a lot of success in this field. What is one piece of advice that you would give to people who are just starting out as coaches?
The one thing that I would love to say to anybody who's starting in this field or any other field is, what is your why? Why are you doing what you are about to do? See, knowing our why will determine a number of things. The first one is the quality of the work. If people are driven only by money and achieving monetary return, then that will determine the way they go about doing things. They might cut corners, they might rush things. The quality of the work will not be based on service, but it will be based on self-service. And this is definitely a recipe for disaster for any business. Now let's get very clear. We're all here to make money and create wealth, but we create wealth by providing service to others. And when we're providing service to others, we're achieving success through this progress. And it's success that attracts money and not the other way around. The other thing is, the why will actually determine your tenacity and your ability and your resilience to hold on to the course and maintain it despite all the obstacles that you will see. Because life is not going to give you a free ticket, as you very well know. Life will always test you. You know, you've been to the seminar, okay, it will give you a welcoming carpet in the beginning, but then reality will hit and life will test how serious you are about what you're intending to do. So in many cases, I've seen people who set out to create businesses just because it has good money in it. And this is the term they use, it has good money in it. And you see them jumping from one business to the other, one business to the other. And then there is a lack of satisfaction, lack of fulfillment. Because the why, the driving factor underneath what they're doing, is not related to their spiritual essence, not related to what they are truly, what their, highest purpose. Because as you well know, we're all here for a purpose that is specific to us, and we were provided with either talents or the ability to get talents that will serve that purpose. And part of our quest, actually majority of our quest in our life, is to find out what's our highest purpose and serve it. And when we serve it, life will serve us back. So the why, definitely I would say, be very clear. What is your why? And that's a question that you have to ask yourself every day, every moment of every day, whenever you're doing every task, how you're interacting with people, how you're conducting business, how you're serving the clients, you know, what is driving the way you're doing the way you do? And if you keep your highest purpose in vision all the time, it will return amazing results.
Wow, that was profound. I loved that insight. One last question. I'd like to have a word of wisdom from you. If I gave you a billboard, what phrase or sentence would you put on it?
Ralph Waldo Emerson, a great essayist from the 19th century, he said in one of his pieces called Thoughts Become Things, he said, a man is what he thinks about all day long. And obviously he's referring to mankind, not just men. And I also heard this statement by Earl Nightingale in his famous speech, The Secret, where he says, we become what we think about. It's very profound. We become what we think about. I greatly believe that the thoughts that we carry in our mind on a moment-by-moment basis will determine the effort that we take in our life. And it will dictate where our attention goes. Okay? And it's not only that. You notice, I had a fascination actually since early days in school where I noticed people, especially when they're receiving exam results, for example, they're in anticipation and their physiological state would change, and their psychological state as well would change depending on the news that they receive. If it's bad news, they feel very depressed and withdrawn. If it's good news, suddenly there is this surge of energy that comes to them. And it's all because one bit of news, nothing else changed in their environment. And through the years in studying, I realized that a lot of what we're feeling, the emotional state, which generates the physiological state, is actually driven by the thoughts that we let in. But not only that, it's the process that handles these thoughts. Okay, how am I processing the thoughts that I'm getting? And that's why we say it's not about what happens to you in life. It's about how you handle, how you respond what happens to you in life. And that's what makes the difference between successful people who succeed regardless of all the obstacles and the circumstances that they face, versus the people who just start and then whenever there is an obstacle they say, oh well, look at my circumstances. And the important thing is, this is not only just for business or career. In fact, this applies to every aspect of life. You take relationships, for example. If my thoughts in my relationships, whether it's with my kids or with my spouse or with my colleagues at work, my boss, if my relationship is that I'm always focusing on the negativities in a relationship, that will make me kind of blind to all the positivities and the possibilities in that relationship. And then that will drive, we say intention determines your attention, that will drive my action to actually try to find things that will confirm the negativities. Okay? We're not saying that people should not improve things, on the contrary, but there is a difference between me looking at things in a positive, critical way by virtue of improving it, versus just to say, this is bad, look at it, and I'm, hand tied, I can't do anything. So definitely, thoughts are the beginning of every result that we generate in our life, which we would call at the end our circumstances.